Hello, future officers. Welcome to another session of NewsCase, wherein we try to bring in the most relevant of current news that is integrated with both prelims as well as mains. So our topic for today's discussion would be inspired from an article which appeared in The Hindu, right? And this was about the limitations of CCS and CDR and their grip on future climate, right? Now we will try and understand what do we mean by this CCS and what is CDR for that matter, right? So basically, our session of today would be catering to GS Paper 3, that is Environment and Ecology. So CCS basically refers to carbon capture and storage, and CDR, it refers to carbon dioxide removal. So one by one, we will try and understand that what is CCS and what is CDR, because these terms are gaining more and more currency in recent times, courtesy climate change. So CCS, it refers to the technologies that can capture the carbon dioxide at a source of emissions even before it is released into the atmosphere. So we have to capture the carbon. That is one part. So these sources include fossil fuel industry, where coal, oil, gas are combusted to generate power. So all of us are aware what are the sources of fuel industries. And apart from this fossil fuel industry, the industrial processes such as steel or cement production for that matter, they also consume or burn a lot of fossil fuels because these are energy intensive industries, and fertilizer industry is also highly energy intensive industry, right? So carbon ko capture karna and we have to store the carbon also. So you can very well relate by paying attention at this particular image or diagram. So what are the natural sources of carbon storage, or for that matter carbon sequestration? Natural sources, they of course include our trees or vegetation, right? So carbon dioxide uptake by forest, biomass plantations, as well as degraded mines that are restored, right? And carbon based production, all of us are aware, carbon based production kahan pe? For example, thermal power plants or steel plant or fertilizer industry, right? Then we have carbon capture and separation. So carbon, it would be captured and it can be separated as well. And this carbon dioxide, it can be pumped into the depleted oil gas reservoirs, as well as this carbon dioxide which has been captured by employing different techniques or technologies. It can be stored in geological formations. For example, the now depleted mines, right? And we also have coal bed methane formations. And it can also be stored, it meaning by carbon, it can be stored also in the deep aquifers. Now the next terminology which was given or provided was carbon dioxide removal, that is CDR. What do you mean by carbon dioxide removal and what it includes? So as the name suggests, it refers to the technologies or the practices and approaches that remove carbon dioxide. But we should be mindful of the fact that carbon dioxide removal it is not just limited or restricted to merely the removal of carbon dioxide, it also includes your storage of carbon dioxide, right? So that removes and durably store carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, right? Now you might think why this CDR is required, or carbon dioxide removal, why this is required at first instance. Kyun chahiye? What is the need or requirement of this CCS and CDR? Zarurat kya hai? So all of us are aware that CDR is required to achieve global and national targets of net zero carbon dioxide emissions, and in order to reduce the greenhouse gases, we definitely are in dire need of these technologies, right? And CDR cannot substitute. Now this should also be kept in mind that CDR cannot substitute for immediate and deep emission reduction, but it is part of all modeled scenarios that limit the global warming to 2 degrees Celsius or lower by 2100, right? that was there in agreed in Paris Climate Agreement. And the implementation of this CDR or CCS, it would require decisions with regards to the CDR methods कि कौन सा method employ होगा, किस scale पे वो method employ होगा, right? What would be the scalability of the particular technology? What would be the timing of the deployment and how sustainably and the feasibility constraint, how they can be managed. कि कोई भी technology है, it has to be first experimented on a pilot basis. It has to be approved. It should have some legal backing as well, right? So all of these things have to be kept in mind. Also, we should be mindful of the fact that CDR allows storing of carbon or storing of carbon after it has been extracted from the atmosphere. कि atmosphere से carbon dioxide it has been removed or recovered और उसको at suitable places it can be stored. Either in reservoirs such as vegetation, तो carbon को कहाँ store किया जा सकता है? This has been told. So it can be stored in vegetation, in the soils, as well as geological formation. Just now we had seen in the diagram also. And carbon, it can be stored in oceans also, because oceans, these are also a major component wherein carbon is stored, right? आप सभी ने पढ़ा होगा ocean acidification के बारे में, because carbon dioxide, it reacts with water to form a weak acid, that is the carbonic acid, right? Or the manufactured products. So carbon can be stored in number of points. And a very important point to be noted in this CDR is CDR only refers to, so this should be kept in mind. Rather, you can note this also, because this can come as a separate prelims ka statement also. The CDR only refers to human activities which intentionally removes carbon dioxide. क्योंकि normally कुदरती रूप से तो पेड़ पौधे हैं which stores carbon dioxide. So that is not a part of CDR. But what would constitute as a CDR is human activities that deliberately remove the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. And very important is, it does not include natural carbon dioxide removal such as through growth of natural forest. Right? So this has to be kept in mind. Thereafter, so we have already seen that why CDR is required. It is required for limiting global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius, right? And particularly CDR is needed to counterbalance the emissions from difficult to decarbonize sectors. Now please try and use such keywords in your answer also. Difficult to abate sectors, yeah, difficult to decarbonize sectors. Because this term, that is decarbonization of the economy, it is also gaining currency or prominence in recent times. Again, courtesy is climate change, such as industry, long distance transportation and agriculture. So future deployment of the CDR, it would require rapid and sustained upscaling of the same. Now, how is CDR done and what are the different CDR options? So CDR can be done both in land and at the water bodies or oceans for that matter, right? And the CDR methods, they would be differing in terms of removal process. Ki remove karne ka, what is the process that have been deployed and what is the time scale, kitne time ke liye carbon ko store karke rakha gaya hai. What is the technological maturity? Is technology in the nascent stages, right? Ya fir it is in the advanced stages. Also the mitigation potential, cost, co-benefits, and what are the adverse side effects of the same? What are the governance requirements? So number of things have to be kept in mind before actually deploying a particular technique or technology, right? Then for example, if we consider land as an earth system, so this is a CDR method which has been given. The CDR method, it can be afforestation, reforestation and improved forest management. Now this is deliberately being done by humans. This is not natural vegetation. right? So it includes agroforestry. और कितने time period के लिए? What is the storage time? So that is for decades to centuries. क्या financial cost involve होगा, right? And everything for that matter. And CDR method, it can also be carbon soil sequestration. Soil sequestration, it can be agricultural practices. For example, zero tillage for that matter. It also helps to sequester carbon. Also biochar and bioenergy with carbon capture and storage, that is CCS. And very important is your direct air carbon capture and storage. Enhanced rock weathering. So deliberately rocks, they can be made to weathered by applying certain chemicals. Or jab rocks ka weathering is there, right? So it is able to sequester more and more carbon. That is also a part of your earth system on land or terrestrial. And also peatlands as well as wetland restoration, they also help to sequester or store carbon. और current news में आप सुनते होंगे that peatlands are getting damaged or destroyed, and because of the same, what is being happening? Tons and tons of carbon dioxide, which was up till now, hitherto it was stored in the earth, but now from the peatlands, lot of carbon, it is being emitted into the atmosphere, and it is further accelerating your global warming, because carbon dioxide, all of us are aware, it is a greenhouse gas which traps the long wave terrestrial radiation. And earth system also includes oceans. So CDR methods में ocean blue carbon management. Now this is also a technique. Ocean alkalinity enhancement and ocean fertilization. All of these can be used as potential carbon dioxide removal methods. So please note them down, and these can be explicitly asked in your prelims as well as mains paper. But what are the different challenges of CCS and CDR? This we should be mindful. What are the different challenges? The challenges include rebound emissions concern. Now what do we mean by rebound emission concerns? या फिर fossil fuel dependency, क्या क्या challenges आ सकते हैं? Now this is all sounding very good, that carbon dioxide is getting released, so we capture that, we store that. ठीक है, अच्छी बात है. But there would be some issue, some concern, some pain point. कुछ bottleneck होगा, कुछ challenge होगा, तो वो क्या होंगे? So please think about it. One by one, we will discuss these. So there are concerns that existence of this CCS and CDR would inadvertently create more room for continuous emissions. कि आपको लगेगा, now we have got the technology, कि जितना carbon emit किया उतना सब we can store, right? So that is one concern. This phenomena might lead to increased emissions. कि problem नहीं होगा, आप सोचेंगे जितना emit करेंगे उतना तो हम recover कर ही लेंगे, and then this can lead to a cascading effect also, right? So this might lead to increased emissions or prolonged resilience on fossil fuels. Countries would resist from phasing out the fossil fuels or transitioning to the cleaner sources of energy, which is the need of the hour, of transitioning to renewable sources of energy. And the second challenge or concern is fossil fuel dependency, because in some cases what is being happened or done is CCS, that is carbon capture and storage, has been used to extract more oil. ये जो टेक्नोलॉजी है जिसका सहारा लेके what is being done, कार्बन को कैप्चर किया, स्टोर किया, बट इसी टेक्नोलॉजी के सहारे what is being done by some players is they are extracting more of oil, ज्यादा oil extract कर रहे हैं. कैसे? By injecting captured carbon. They pump in more of carbon dioxide, and what happens? Oil, it is extracted into the oil fields. Potentially it is prolonged, again the same thing, it is prolonged resilience on the fossil fuels rather than moving away from them. So these are the concerns, and very important concern or challenges. हम बात करते हैं कि कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड को हम we will store it, we will remove the same. कैसे? By deliberately having afforestation या reforestation. कहाँ पे करेंगे afforestation? On the land itself. and land is a very scarce resource, especially in a country like India, right, which is having around 2.4% of the entire global area by land surface, but population kitna it is around 18%. The population is increasing day by day, and at the same time agricultural land it is shrinking day by day. So land is a major issue. In fact, जो land का point है, it is applicable to most of the projects. Land availability, right? So land equity concerns, also technological and financial hurdles. These are also some of the major challenges in case of the CCS and CDR. Right? So what is the way forward? How to go about it? If these are the challenges, should we not go ahead or should we not proceed? No. The way ahead is to balance out between different things or different issues. For example, so addressing of concerns relating to carbon capture, storage and carbon dioxide removal, it requires comprehensive approach. Now, what do you mean by comprehensive approach? Comprehensive approach, it would involve technological advancements, policies, framework, very important. In India also, Niti Aayog has created a framework for CCUS, that is carbon capture, storage and utilization. So policy frameworks is also required that discourage continued reliance on fossil fuels. That is a must. And strategies that ensure responsible and sustainable deployment of these technologies, that is CCS and CDR, for broader climate goals. So that is the way forward, right? And at the end of the session, we will see that knowledge is not enough. We have to practice also, right? In the year 2012 or be it year 2017, carbon sequestration pe, there were direct questions like, consider the following agricultural practices: contour bunding, relay cropping, zero tillage. And question was, in the context of global climate change. ग्लोबल क्लाइमेट चेंज कोई नया फिनोमिना नहीं है. अब देख सकते हैं 2012 में भी क्वेश्चन वाज अबाउट ग्लोबल क्लाइमेट चेंज के रेफरेंस में, व्हिच ऑफ द अबव हेल्प इन कार्बन सिक्वेस्ट्रेशन और स्टोरेज इन द सॉइल. प्लीज कमेंट करके बताइए व्हाट इज द आंसर फॉर क्वेश्चन नंबर 98. तो कार्बन कैप्चर, कार्बन स्टोरेज 2017 in context of mitigating the impending global warming due to anthropogenic emissions of carbon dioxide, which of the following can be the potential sites? Which of the following can be the potential sites for carbon sequestration? Again pertaining to carbon sequestration के लिए potential sites, और यही हमने in our diagram we had already seen. So is it abundant and uneconomic coal seams, depleted oil and gas reserves? क्या वहां पे कार्बन को स्टोर करके रखा जा सकता है, या फिर is it subterranean deep saline formation? So what is the answer? Please comment down. Also, UPSC has asked the same topic in 2020 and in 2023 as well. So you can see what are the advantages of zero tillage in agriculture. What is tillage? Tillage is, in simple Hindi में, tillage means जुताई करना, right? To plow the field. So what are the advantages? और एक advantage आपको दिया है कि कार्बन सिक्वेस्ट्रेशन इज पॉसिबल बाय फॉलोइंग जीरो टिलेज, कि अगर हम खेत में इफ वी डोंट टिल द लैंड, सो इट कैन लीड टू कार्बन सिक्वेस्ट्रेशन. इज दिस ट्रू, इज दिस फॉल्स? वी हैव ऑलरेडी डिस्कस्ड द सेम, राइट? एंड 2023 इसी साल के प्रीलिम्स में व्हाट वाज द क्वेश्चन दैट वाज आस्क्ड? हाउ मेनी ऑफ द अबव एक्टिविटीज आर ऑफन कंसिडर्ड एंड डिस्कस्ड फॉर कार्बन कैप्चर एंड सिक्वेस्ट्रेशन? इनमें से विच ऑफ द एक्टिविटीज आर कंसिडर्ड कार्बन कैप्चर और कार्बन सिक्वेस्ट्रेशन में? Is it spreading finely ground basalt rock on farmlands extensively, that is weathering, right? या फिर increasing the alkalinity of the oceans by adding lime? ये दोनों चीजें हमने पढ़ी हैं आज के ही सेशन में. Capturing carbon dioxide released from various industries and pumping it into abundant subterranean mines in form of carbonated waters. So what is the right answer? I hope you have clearly understood that carbon sequestration is a very important theme when it comes to UPSC prelims, right? बार बार एक ही थीम पे यूपीएससी इज फोकसिंग अगेन एंड अगेन, and the focus will continue in the coming years also. Again, courtesy is climate change. So that is it for today. Right? Thank you so much, and till then, have a good time.